The Hells Angels biker saw the little girl wandering across the desert highway, and his next move split the silence open. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the barren stretch of desert highway. The landscape was empty, the kind of emptiness that makes you question if you're truly alone or if the silence just hasn't been broken yet. That was exactly the moment Jake Morrison, known in the biker world as Reaper, saw her. A little girl, no more than 7, walking alone across the hot asphalt. She was small, her face pale, and she looked like a ghost lost in a world far too big for her. He could see the tracks of her tiny feet in the dust, leading nowhere. There was no car in sight, no other soul in the miles of desolate landscape. Jake's first instinct was to keep riding. After all, he had learned long ago that the road was meant for freedom, not for saving anyone. But there was something about her, something in the way she moved, the way her eyes scanned the horizon as if searching for something she couldn't find. He slowed his motorcycle and pulled over. The engine rumbled softly as he cut the throttle, the sound of his Harley's percutting through the quiet desert air. He dismounted, his boots hitting the cracked asphalt with a soft thud, and adjusted his worn leather jacket. He wasn't used to this. The Hells Angels taught him that emotions were a weakness, that you kept moving, kept riding, and didn't stop for anyone. But this was different. There she was, small, fragile, and alone. "Hey kid, you lost?" His voice was rough from years of cigarette smoke and yelling over roaring engines, but it was softer now, almost hesitant. She turned to face him, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and curiosity. She took a step back, as if she wasn't sure whether to trust him. It was understandable. A man like him, with tattoos that screamed danger, the Hells Angels patch on his back. It wasn't the kind of thing that would make a little girl feel safe. Jake could see her tremble slightly, her small hands clutching her worn shirt as if trying to find some comfort in the fabric. "Where's your family?" he asked, taking another step forward but stopping just short of getting too close. She didn't answer immediately, and for a moment, Jake thought she might run. But instead, she just stared at him, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't know. They left me," she said, her voice small and filled with an emotion that Jake couldn't quite place. His heart clenched. There was something about her words that hit him harder than he expected. He thought about his own past, his own loneliness, the times he had been left behind by the people who should have cared for him. He felt a pang of something unfamiliar, something close to compassion. He looked around, still seeing nothing but endless desert in every direction. "All right, let's get you out of here," he said, his tone more gentle than he intended. Jake moved toward her slowly, trying not to startle her. He crouched down, his massive frame almost blocking the horizon, and extended his hand. "I'm Jake. I'm gonna help you, kid. Just trust me." She hesitated for a moment, her little eyes searching his face as if trying to decipher if he was telling the truth. Slowly, she stepped forward and took his hand. Her grip was weak but steady, and in that moment, Jake knew something had shifted. He wasn't sure what it was yet, but he knew that helping her was the right thing to do. With one arm gently around her, he led her to his bike. As they began their ride, the setting sun cast long shadows behind them. But for the first time in a long time, Jake felt like he was doing something that mattered. "I never expected to find myself in this position," Jake thought to himself as he carefully helped the little girl onto the back of his Harley-Davidson, the engine rumbling softly beneath them. His mind kept racing, trying to process the weight of what was happening. He had been a Hells Angels enforcer for most of his life, a man used to chaos and danger. He was no stranger to the violence of the streets or the cold, indifferent road. Yet, there was something about this little girl, her innocence, that made his world feel off balance. The bike revved to life, and the sound broke the silence of the desert around them. Jake glanced over his shoulder at her, her small hands gripping the back of his leather jacket as they rode, her face still filled with a mix of fear and wonder. She was trusting him, a total stranger, a man who looked like he belonged to a world of violence. The thought settled heavily in his chest. He had to protect her, That was all that mattered now. They rode for what felt like hours, the endless stretch of highway unfolding before them. The desert, sprawling and desolate, seemed to stretch on forever, but there was something about the way the sun sank behind the mountains that made the journey feel strangely calming. He wasn't sure where he was taking her yet, but he knew he couldn't leave her out here in the wilderness, not like this. The night air was cooling quickly, and he could feel the chill in the breeze. He glanced down at the girl again. She looked cold, her thin clothes doing little to protect her from the evening chill. "You all right back there, kid?" he called over his shoulder, his voice hoarse but kind. She nodded, but he could feel the weight of her silence, a silence that spoke of more than just fear. She was hiding something. "Where's your family?" Jake asked, his voice softer now, hoping she might finally open up. She hesitated, the grip on his jacket tightening. "I don't have one," she finally said, her voice barely audible against the wind. Jake's heart sank. He didn't need to ask any more questions to know that something had happened to her, something dark and dangerous. "What's your name?" he asked, trying to break the tension. "Emily," she replied, her voice barely a whisper. "I'm Jake," he said, giving her a reassuring smile, though he wasn't sure it was enough to comfort her. As they rode, his mind kept wandering back to his own past, the years of isolation and violence, the things he had seen, and the things he had done. He had spent so much time building walls around his heart, convincing himself that he didn't need anyone. But this little girl, this fragile soul clinging to him, was breaking through those walls. For the first time in a long while, Jake felt something other than the weight of regret and guilt. He felt a sense of purpose, a sense that he had to protect her, no matter the cost. He finally pulled up to an old, rundown motel just off the highway. It wasn't much, but it would do for the night. He parked the bike and turned to Emily. "We're staying here for the night," he said gently. She nodded, her face still drawn with fear. He helped her off the bike, making sure she was steady on her feet before leading her inside the small room. It smelled of stale cigarettes and dust, but it was warm, and that was all that mattered right now. Jake rummaged through his bag for some extra clothes he kept for situations like this. He found a jacket and handed it to her. "Put this on. It'll keep you warm," he said. She looked at him, a mixture of surprise and hesitation on her face, but then she nodded and took the jacket. As she wrapped it around herself, Jake took a seat by the small table near the window, his mind still racing. There was something about this situation, something that didn't add up. Why was she out here alone? Who would leave a child like this in the middle of nowhere? He didn't have the answers, but he was determined to find them. He stood up and moved toward the door, opening it to let in the cool night air. "I'll be right back. I need to check something," he said. Emily looked up at him, her wide eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and fear. "Don't leave me," she whispered, her voice trembling. Jake paused for a moment, his chest tightening at the sound of her voice. He had been running from his past for so long, but now, with this little girl in his care, he knew he couldn't run anymore. "I won't leave you," he said, his voice firm with the promise. He walked out the door, his mind set on finding the answers he needed, and finding out who was responsible for the little girl's pain. "I'm not sure how long I've been standing outside. The cold night air bites into my skin, but it's not the chill that's making me hesitate. It's something deeper, something that won't leave my mind. I need to figure this out. Who left Emily out there? Why was she walking alone on that highway, so far from anyone who could help her? I don't know what kind of trouble I've walked into, but I'm not going to let it follow her. I don't care who's involved or how far I have to go. I won't let anyone hurt her." I walked down the dirt road behind the motel, eyes scanning the horizon. The desert stretches out in every direction, and for a moment, it feels like the world is empty, save for me and the weight of the situation. My boots crunch against the gravel as I make my way toward the far side of the motel, where a couple of beat-up cars are parked. I don't expect much. The place is run down, nothing special, but I'm looking for something more, anything that can point me in the right direction. The sky overhead is a deep purple, the last remnants of daylight fading fast. As I round the corner of the building, I see movement near one of the cars, a shadow shifting in the dim light. I freeze, instincts kicking in. Whoever it is, they're not here to make friends. I step closer, keeping to the edge of the parking lot, trying to stay hidden. That's when I hear it, the low, gravelly voice of a man. "She's got to go? She's too much trouble." My heart skips a beat. I step forward, just far enough to see the man leaning against the car, his arms crossed, talking to another figure in the shadows. The second voice is muffled, but I can hear the tone of authority in it. We can't just leave her out there. She knows too much. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. What the hell is going on? Emily knows too much? I can't tell who they are, but I know one thing for sure. They're not talking about her in any kind of way that makes her safe. I take a step back, careful not to make a sound. I'm not ready to confront them yet. I need more information. I can't risk making a move without knowing what's really going on. I retreat back toward the motel, my mind racing. I've got to keep Emily safe. Whatever these guys are planning, I'm not letting them get to her. Back in the room, Emily is sitting on the edge of the bed, her small hands clutching the jacket I gave her earlier. She looks up when I enter, her eyes filled with a mix of hope and fear. "Jake?" she asks, her voice trembling. I smile, though it feels more like a mask than anything else. "We're okay. Just stay here, all right? I'm going to get us some answers." She nods, her eyes wide. But there's something in them, a trust that I didn't expect. It hits me harder than it should, the weight of responsibility settling deeper in my chest. I can't let her down. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself. I need to stay focused. I need to find out who these men are and why they're so interested in Emily. I step out of the room again, this time more determined. I move quickly, making my way to the motel office. The place is small, and the manager is a thin man with a scruffy beard, leaning behind the counter. I walk up to the window, trying to look casual. "Hey, you seen anyone hanging around here tonight? Any unusual visitors?" He looks up at me, his eyes narrowing. "What's your business?" I give him a tight smile. "Just wondering if anyone's been acting strange." "I'm not looking for trouble." He grunts, clearly uninterested in helping. "No one's been here but the usual crowd." "You looking for someone?" "Just a girl," I say, my tone steady. "Little girl, about 7 years old, dark hair." He shrugs. "Ain't seen anyone like that." "You sure you've got the right place?" I stare at him for a long second, my patience running thin. But I keep it together. "Thanks," I mutter before turning away. It's not much, but it's all I have for now. The pieces aren't fitting together, and the more I dig, the more it feels like there's something much bigger at play here than just a lost kid. I return to the room, my mind spinning with questions. I push the door open and stop when I see Emily standing near the window, looking out into the night. "Emily," I say, walking over to her. "You. Okay." She doesn't turn to look at me right away, but after a long pause, she speaks softly. "I think they're coming for me." The words hit me hard. I take a deep breath, then kneel beside her. "You're safe now," I tell her, my voice more firm than I feel. "I won't let anyone hurt you. Do you understand?" She nods slowly, but I can see the fear still in her eyes. She's been through something I'm not ready to fully understand yet. But I will. I won't let anyone take her from me. As I sit there beside her, my mind runs through all the possibilities. Whatever's happening, whatever these people want, it's not over. Not by a long shot. I won't stop until I find the truth. And I won't stop until she's safe. I've been pacing around the motel room, my mind racing with everything I've learned so far. Emily is sitting on the bed, wrapped in the jacket I gave her, her small hands still gripping the fabric as though it's the only thing holding her together. The room is quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet that feels like the calm before the storm. I can't shake the feeling that something's coming, and I need to be ready. I glance out the window again, but the desert is still empty, the stars beginning to pierce the night sky. There's no sign of the men from earlier, but I know they're out there, somewhere, watching. I can feel it. I have to act before they do. I need answers. I can't keep Emily hidden away in this room forever. I can't protect her if I don't know who we're up against. I walk over to Emily, who is staring at her hands, lost in thought. I kneel beside her, my eyes softening as I try to put myself in her shoes. She's been through so much, and here I am, a stranger who's trying to protect her but doesn't know who the enemy is. "Hey, Emily," I say gently. She looks up at me, her eyes wide and vulnerable. "Are you okay?" She hesitates, then nods, but I can see the fear still lingering there. "I'm just scared," she whispers. "I don't want them to find me." Her words hit me harder than I expected. I've been so focused on protecting her from the immediate danger, I forgot to ask her what she's really been through. I can't imagine how terrifying it must have been for her, to be alone out there, with no one to turn to. I take a deep breath and put a hand on her shoulder, offering what little comfort I can. I'm not going to let them hurt you, I say, my voice firm with conviction. You're safe here with me. I'll make sure of it. She nods, but I can see the doubt in her eyes. I know she's been let down before, and I'm going to have to prove to her that I'm different. I can't let her down, not after everything she's been through. I stand up and move toward the door. Stay here, Emily. Lock the door behind me, I say. She nods, though I can see the uncertainty in her expression. I'll be back soon. I open the door and step outside, the cool night air hitting me like a punch in the face. I make my way toward the old, rusty car parked by the side of the motel. It's the same one I saw earlier, the one that belonged to the men who had been talking in the shadows. I walk over to it, making sure to stay hidden in the darkness. As I get closer, I can see the faint glow of a cigarette burning in the distance. One of them is still here, waiting. I approach cautiously, keeping my steps light so they won't hear me coming. I peek around the corner and see a man standing by the car, his back to me. He's tall, with broad shoulders and a black leather jacket. He's not the same guy I heard talking earlier, but he's definitely part of the group. I take a deep breath, my heart racing in my chest. This is it. I have to find out what they want. I move closer, silently, until I'm only a few feet away. My mind is spinning, trying to come up with a plan. I can't just confront him. It's too risky. I need information, something to help me piece together the puzzle. I step on a twig, the snap echoing in the quiet night. The man turns, his eyes narrowing as he scans the dark. My heart stops for a moment, but I stay still, holding my breath. He looks away. After a few seconds, apparently satisfied that there's nothing there. I take a step forward, just a little bit closer, and then I hear it. A soft voice coming from behind the car. I told you we shouldn't be here. She's going to get us into trouble. It's the same voice I heard earlier, the one who sounded like he was in charge. I freeze, straining to hear every word. We've been through worse, the man by the car says, his voice rough. She's the least of our problems. The other voice hesitates. What if the biker's not just some fool? What if he knows more than we think? The man by the car laughs, the sound harsh and dismissive. He's just a biker. He'll do what bikers do, get lost in the wind and forget all about her. They always do. I feel a surge of anger rise in me, but I bite it back. I have to stay calm. I need to know more. They're not just talking about Emily, they're talking about me too. This isn't just some random encounter. Something's going on here, and I need to get to the bottom of it. I take another step closer, just enough to get a better view. That's when I hear it, a faint sound from behind me. I turn just in time to see a shadow dart across the parking lot, and before I can react, the sound of motorcycles revving fills the air. A chill runs down my spine as the bikes approach. My heart skips a beat. They're here. And this time, it's not just a few of them. There's a whole crew rolling up, the unmistakable rumble of their engines breaking the silence. I have no choice now. I have to act. I turn quickly and head back toward the motel room, my mind already working on the next move. The bikes are too loud, too close, but I have one thing they don't: time. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm ready for it. I won't let anyone hurt Emily. I can't. I'm already too far into this to turn back. I can hear the motorcycles getting closer, the rumble growing louder as they approach the motel. My heart races in my chest, every muscle tense. I need to move, and fast. The room feels smaller with each passing second, the walls closing in. I glance at Emily, who is standing by the window, her eyes wide with fear. She's scared, and I can't blame her. I'm scared too. I don't know who these men are or what they want with her, but I know one thing for sure. I can't let them take her. I can't let them hurt her. I turn to the door and lock it behind me, then slip out into the night, my boots hitting the ground with a soft thud. The bikes are almost here, and I can see the headlights flashing in the distance. I need to keep my distance, stay in the shadows. I creep around the side of the motel, staying low, making sure not to make a sound. The last thing I want is to be caught in the open. I move quickly, the adrenaline pumping through my veins. I can hear the engines of the bikes as they roll into the parking lot, the sound deafening in the still desert air. I peek around the corner of the building and see them, at least 5 of them, all dressed in the familiar black leather jackets with the Hells Angels patches. The sight makes my blood run cold. I've been with the club for years, but these guys, they're not the ones I know. They're the kind of men who'll do whatever it takes to get what they want, no matter who they hurt along the way. I've seen it before. I've been part of it. But that was before. Before I found myself standing here, protecting a little girl who didn't deserve any of this. I pulled back into the shadows as they dismount, their boots thudding against the gravel as they move toward the motel rooms. I can feel my pulse in my ears, my hands trembling at my sides. I have to do something, but what? I don't have time to think. They're too close. My eyes dart around, searching for anything that might give me an advantage. And then I see it. Behind one of the rooms, a metal fire escape ladder leading to the roof. I don't hesitate. I run for it, my heart hammering in my chest. I reach the ladder and start climbing, my hands gripping the cold metal as I pull myself up. My feet hit the roof with a soft thud, and I crouch low, trying to keep my movement silent. From up here, I can see everything. The bikers are walking toward the door of the room where Emily is hiding. My breath catches in my throat. I can't let them reach her. I scan the area again, looking for something, anything to help me stop them. That's when I see him, a man standing by the far side of the parking lot, his hands in his pockets, watching the scene unfold. He's not one of the bikers, but there's something about him that makes me uneasy. I can't tell if he's with them or if he's just a bystander, but either way, he's a problem. I pull my gun from the holster at my side, making sure the safety is off. I don't want to kill anyone, but I will if I have to. I've done it before. I can do it again if it means protecting Emily. I keep my eyes on the group of bikers as they reach the door to the room. They stop for a moment, talking in low voices, their backs turned to me. This is it. I need to make my move. I steady my breath, aiming for the man who's standing near the parking lot. He's too far away for a clean shot, but I can't afford to take chances. I wait for the perfect moment, and then I take it. A loud shot rings out, echoing through the night. The man drops to the ground with a grunt, his hand instinctively reaching for his chest. I don't wait to see if he's alive. I climb down the ladder, my feet hitting the ground with a soft thud. I move quickly, staying low, heading toward the motel room where Emily is hiding. I don't have much time. I can hear the bikers starting to yell, realizing that something's gone wrong. I don't look back as I approach the door, my hand on the handle. I push the door open slowly, just enough to slip inside. Emily is still standing by the window, her eyes wide with fear. She doesn't move when she sees me. She's been waiting, hoping I'd come back. Emily, I say, my voice steady despite the chaos outside. We need to leave. Now. She nods, not asking any questions. She doesn't need to. She knows. She knows I'm here to protect her. I grab her hand, pulling her gently toward the door. We move quickly, making sure to stay quiet as we slip out of the room. We don't have much time. The bikers will be looking for us. But I won't let them find us. Not if I can help it. We head toward the back of the motel, the fire escape ladder still in sight. I can hear the bikes revving outside, the sound of the engines filling the air, but we're moving faster now. I won't stop until we're safe. Emily looks up at me, her small hand still gripping mine. Are we going to be okay? She asks, her voice barely a whisper. I look down at her, offering a small smile. We're going to be just fine, I say, though I know the danger isn't over yet. But for now, I'll do whatever it takes to keep her safe. We climb the ladder to the roof once more, and I look out at the dark desert horizon. We have a long road ahead of us. But this time, I'm not alone. I can feel the tension in the air as we make our way across the roof, Emily's small hand still tightly gripping mine. The sound of the motorcycles revving below echoes in the night, but we don't stop to look back. We move as quickly as we can, staying low and trying to keep out of sight. The fire escape ladder is only a few feet away now, and I can see the ground beneath us. It's a quick descent, but it's not going to be easy. There's too much at stake. Too many unknowns. I glance over at Emily. She's doing her best to keep up, but I can see the exhaustion in her eyes. She's been through more than any child should have to. And yet here she is, walking beside me without hesitation. She's stronger than anyone gives her credit for. I pull her closer, trying to shield her from the view below. I know she's scared, but I can't show it. Not now. I have to stay calm for both of us. I reach the ladder first and pull it down quietly, the metal scraping against the building's edge. Emily hesitates for just a second before following me down. Her feet find the rungs, and I steady her as she climbs down behind me. The distance between us and the ground isn't far, but I'm still cautious. The last thing I want is for us to make a sound that alerts them to our presence. When we finally reach the ground, I take a moment to scan the area. The parking lot is still, the headlights of the bikes casting long shadows across the cracked pavement. I don't see anyone moving, but I know they're close. Too close. We need to keep moving. I lead Emily toward the back gate of the motel, my mind working quickly. I have a plan, but I need to get us to safety first. We reach the gate and find it locked, but I don't hesitate. My hand moves to the chain, and I break it with one quick tug, the metal giving way under the pressure. We slip through the gap, and I immediately lead Emily down a narrow alleyway between the motel and an abandoned building. We don't have much time. The bikes are getting closer. We can hear their engines revving in the distance. I pull Emily closer, holding her hand tightly as we move through the dark alley. It's quiet, but my senses are on high alert. I keep looking over my shoulder, making sure no one's following us. The moon is high in the sky now, casting a dim light on the desert landscape. It's eerie, like we're the only two people left in the world. I keep moving forward, one step after another. I don't look back. I can't afford to. We reach the end of the alley and find ourselves on the edge of a small road that leads out of town. There's no sign of the bikers yet, but I know they'll be here soon. I turn to Emily. We're almost there. I say, my voice calm, though I feel anything but. She nods, but doesn't say anything. I can tell she's tired, but she's still holding on, still walking beside me like she trusts me to get her through this. I know I'm all she is right now, and I won't let her down. We walk in silence for a while, the sound of our footsteps the only thing breaking the stillness. The desert stretches out around us, empty and barren. I keep my eyes peeled for any sign of danger. I don't know where we're going exactly, but I know we need to get far away from here. This place is crawling with danger, and I can't let Emily get caught in it. I stop when I hear something in the distance. A vehicle, its engine roaring to life. My heart skips a beat. It's them. They're on the move. I turn to Emily, my grip on her hand tightening. We need to move faster, I say, urgency in my voice. She nods, her small legs working quickly to keep up with me. We pick up the pace, moving as fast as we can without making too much noise. We don't look back. We just keep moving, one foot in front of the other, knowing that if we stop now, we might not make it. As we walk, I can feel the sweat on my brow, the tension in my body, but I don't stop. I can't stop. Not yet. We round a corner, and I spot a small motel off the main road. It's the kind of place that looks like it's seen better days, but it's isolated enough that it could be our ticket out of here. I lead Emily toward it, keeping my eyes peeled for any sign of trouble. I'm not taking any chances. We reach the motel and slip inside, hoping we're not followed. I make sure the door locks behind us. The room is small and empty, but it's safe. For now, it's enough. I turn to Emily, who looks at me with those wide, trusting eyes. She's scared, but she's still holding on. I smile at her, trying to reassure her. We're safe for now, I say, though I know the danger is far from over. I walk over to the bed and sit down, my mind still racing. I have a moment to think, but I know it won't last. The bikers will be looking for us. I need to come up with a plan, and I need to do it fast. I can't let them find us. Not now. Not when I'm so close to keeping Emily safe. I sit on the edge of the bed, my mind racing. The night is quiet now, but I know that won't last long. The sound of motorcycles is still fresh in my ears, a constant reminder that the danger is out there, waiting. Emily is asleep on the bed, her breathing soft and steady, but I know she's not really at peace. None of us are. The bikers are out there, searching for us, and I can't keep her locked up in this room forever. We need to move. I stand up and walk over to the window, peeking through the blinds. The parking lot is empty now, but it won't stay that way for long. I can feel the weight of the situation pressing down on me. I don't know how much time we have, but I know it's running out. I turn back to Emily, who is still lying on the bed, her small figure curled up under the covers. She's so innocent, so trusting, and I can't help but feel a deep sense of responsibility for her. She's been through so much already, and it's my job to make sure she doesn't go through any more. But I don't know how much longer I can keep her safe. I walk over to her, kneeling down beside the bed. She stirs slightly, but doesn't wake up. I reach out and gently brush her hair back from her face, my heart aching at the sight of her. She's just a kid. She shouldn't have to be running for her life. But here we are. I can't stay here any longer. The bikers will be coming for us soon, and I need to get us out of town, away from this danger. I shake Emily gently, trying to wake her without startling her. She opens her eyes slowly, blinking against the dim light of the room. "Jake?" she whispers, her voice soft and fragile. "What's wrong?" "We need to leave, Emily," I say quietly, my voice firm despite the fear running through me. "We can't stay here. It's not safe." She looks at me, her big brown eyes wide with confusion and fear. "Where are we going?" she asks, her voice trembling. I don't have a clear answer. I don't know where we're going, just that we need to keep moving, keep putting distance between us and those bikers. "I don't know yet," I reply, my voice softer now. "But we'll figure it out. You just need to trust me." She nods, though I can see the uncertainty in her eyes. She's scared, and I don't blame her. I'm scared too, but I can't show it. I have to stay calm, for her. I stand up and offer her my hand, helping her to her feet. She takes it without hesitation, still looking at me with that same trust she's had since the moment we met. I lead her toward the door, my hand on the handle, but then I stop. I turn to look at her one more time. "Emily, stay close to me, okay? Don't let go of my hand." She nods again, her small hand gripping mine tightly. I give her a reassuring smile, even though I don't feel reassured at all. We leave the room and move quickly through the motel, keeping to the shadows as best as we can. I can't let anyone see us. The last thing I want is for those bikers to spot us now. As we step outside, I'm hit with the cold night air again, the desert stretching out before us, empty and silent. I can feel the weight of the situation, but I push it aside. I have to keep moving. We head toward the old truck I noticed earlier parked in the back lot. It's not much, but it'll get us out of here. I don't know where we're going, but I know we can't stay here any longer. Emily is holding my hand tightly, and I can feel her small body shaking slightly. I want to tell her everything will be okay, but I can't make that promise. The truth is, I don't know if everything will be okay. I don't even know if we'll make it out of this town alive. But I'll do everything I can to keep her safe. We reach the truck, and I open the door for her, helping her inside. I climb in beside her, my hand still gripping the steering wheel. I start the engine, the truck sputtering to life with a rough cough. I don't have a plan, but I know one thing. We can't stay here. We drive through the empty streets, the headlights illuminating the road ahead. The further we get from the motel, the more I can breathe. We're leaving the danger behind, but I know it's not over. The bikers are still out there, and they won't stop until they find us. I glance over at Emily, who is staring out the window, her face pressed against the cool glass. She's so young, too young for all of this, and yet here she is, on the run with me. I have to protect her. I can't let anyone take her away. As we drive, I start to think about what comes next. Where do we go from here? What's the next step? I don't have the answers, but I know one thing. I won't stop until she's safe. I won't stop until I've figured out who's behind all of this. And I won't stop until I've made sure that Emily never has to live in fear again. I drive through the empty streets, the headlights of the truck cutting through the thick darkness. The engine hums steadily beneath me, but the tension in my chest won't fade. I glance at Emily, her small form sitting quietly in the passenger seat. She's staring out the window, her face pale in the dim light of the dashboard. I wish I could tell her everything was going to be okay. But the truth is, I don't know that for sure. The bikers are still out there, still searching for us, and I have no idea how far their reach goes. All I know is that I can't let them find us. I can't let them hurt her. We're going to get through this, Emily. I say, my voice low and steady. She turns to look at me, her brown eyes filled with uncertainty. "How do you know?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I feel a lump form in my throat, but I swallow it down. I don't have the right words to reassure her, but I know I have to try. I know because I'm not going to stop. I say, my voice stronger now. I'm not going to let them take you. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe. She doesn't say anything, but I can see the trust in her eyes. She believes me. And that belief, that hope, is the only thing keeping me going right now. I keep my eyes on the road, my grip tight on the wheel. I don't know where we're headed, but I can't keep driving in circles. We need a plan, a place to lay low until I can figure out what's going on. I pass through the outskirts of town, the headlights illuminating the dusty road ahead. The desert stretches out in every direction, endless and barren. There's nothing out here except the road and the night. I need to find somewhere to stop, somewhere safe. A small motel up ahead catches my attention. It's run down, just like the one we left behind, but it's far enough out of town that it could give us the cover we need. I make a sharp turn into the lot, the tires squealing against the pavement. I park the truck in front of one of the rooms, the engine cutting off with a final sputter. "Stay here, Emily," I say as I get out of the truck. She nods, though I can see the fear in her eyes. I don't want to leave her, but I need to check things out. I walk quickly toward the motel office, scanning the area for any sign of danger. It's quiet. Too quiet. The office is locked, but there's a sign that says no vacancy. I peek through the window and see an elderly man sitting behind the desk, his eyes half closed as if he's asleep. I tap on the window gently, and his eyes snap open. He looks startled for a moment, but then he waves me inside. "Can I help you?" he asks, his voice raspy. I nod, my eyes scanning the area behind him. "I need a room," I say, trying to keep my voice casual. He hesitates, looking me up and down. "We don't usually take strangers," he mutters, but then he shrugs. "What's your business?" I don't know how to answer that. My business is keeping Emily safe. That's all that matters right now. Just passing through, I say, hoping my tone is convincing. He nods slowly, reaching for the key behind him. "One night," he says, tossing the key toward me. "But no funny business, all right?" I nod, paying him the cash he asks for. I walk back to the truck, my eyes constantly darting around, making sure we're not being followed. I get back in and start the engine. "We're staying here for the night," I tell Emily as I drive to the room. She doesn't say anything, but I can see the relief in her posture. We're safe for now. That's all I can promise. We pull into the parking space in front of the room, and I cut the engine. I get out and grab my bag, then go to the back of the truck to grab Emily's things. I make sure to keep my movements quiet, not wanting to draw attention. Emily gets out of the truck and follows me toward the room, her small feet making barely a sound on the pavement. The door creaks when I open it, and I step inside first, making sure the room is empty. It's small, with faded wallpaper and a single bed, but it'll do for the night. I close the door behind us and lock it. "Stay here," I tell Emily, giving her a reassuring smile. She nods and sits down on the bed, her hands still clasped tightly together. I take a seat in the chair near the window, my eyes never leaving the door. I need to keep watch. I need to make sure they don't find us. The silence in the room feels heavy, oppressive. Emily is lying on the bed now, her eyes closed as if she's trying to sleep, but I know she's not. She's too scared to sleep, just like I am. The night drags on, each minute feeling like an eternity. My mind is racing, running through every possible scenario, trying to come up with a plan. I don't know how long we can keep running. I don't know how long I can keep protecting her. But I won't stop. I can't stop. Emily's life depends on it. I stand up and walk over to her, kneeling beside the bed. "We're going to be okay," I say softly, though I'm not sure if I believe it myself. She opens her eyes and looks at me, her gaze full of fear and uncertainty. But she doesn't say anything. She just nods, her small hand reaching out to take mine. And for a moment, I let myself believe it. That maybe, just maybe, we'll make it through this. Together. I'm still wide awake, the quiet hum of the room mixing with the soft sound of Emily's breathing. It's the only peaceful thing in the air right now. Every creak of the building, every shift in the air, has me on edge. I keep looking over at her, seeing her tucked into the bed, and I know she's trying to sleep, but her eyes are still wide open. She's just as aware as I am that this is far from over. The night drags on, minutes turning into hours. Outside, the desert seems like an endless, desolate world. There's nothing here but the road, the wind, and the dust. I'm still not sure where we're going, but I know we can't stay in this town much longer. The bikers are out there, and I don't trust that they've given up looking for us. I need to keep moving, to stay ahead of them. I take a slow breath, my eyes never leaving the door. I hear nothing but silence. But it's the kind of silence that's suffocating, the kind that makes you think someone's just waiting for the right moment to strike. I stand up from my seat by the window, stretching my stiff legs. I move quietly over to the bed where Emily is lying, her small form curled up beneath the blankets. I can see the way she's clutching the edge of the blanket tightly, her knuckles white from holding on so hard. She's scared. I can feel it, even if she's trying to hide it. I sit down next to her, my weight shifting the mattress slightly. She looks up at me with those wide brown eyes, her face a mix of exhaustion and worry. "Jake," she whispers softly, her voice barely audible in the quiet room. "Are they going to find us?" I pause, my chest tightening. I want to tell her that everything is going to be fine, that we'll be safe. But I can't make that promise. The truth is, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know. I admit quietly, trying to hide the uncertainty in my voice. But I'm not going to let them hurt you. I'll keep you safe, I promise. She looks at me for a long moment, her small hand reaching out to grip mine. I don't say anything more. There's nothing else I can say. The weight of my promise hangs between us, heavier than I ever thought possible. I know what I've gotten us into, and I know the risks. But for Emily, I'll face whatever comes. I gently pull her into a hug, feeling her tiny body press against mine. She's so small, so fragile. I don't know how she's managed to stay so strong, but she has. She's stronger than I ever expected. I hold her for a moment longer before pulling away, my hand still resting on her shoulders. We have to. Stay quiet. I say softly, my eyes scanning the room. I'll make sure you're safe. We just have to stay hidden until we figure out what's going on. She nods, the fear still in her eyes. But there's something else there too, trust. She's trusting me to keep her safe, and that's more weight than I've ever felt in my life. I stand up and walk over to the window, peeking out once again. The desert is still and empty, just as it was when we first arrived. The stars are sharp in the sky, and the wind moves the dust across the road in waves. I'm about to turn back when I see it. A shadow in the distance. A figure standing by the far end of the parking lot, watching the motel. My breath catches in my chest. It's one of the bikers. I can tell by the way he's standing, the way he moves. I freeze, my heart pounding in my ears. I don't know how long he's been there, but I know it's too long. The shadows around us feel heavier now, and I'm starting to feel like we're being hunted. I don't wait for him to make a move. I turn quickly, moving to the door and locking it behind me. I don't know how many more of them are out there, but I can't take any chances. I move quietly to the back of the room, where Emily is still sitting on the bed. We have to go, I say, my voice low and urgent. She stands up immediately, her eyes wide with fear. What's happening? She asks, her voice trembling. There's one of them out there, I say, my mind racing. We need to get out of here, right now. I move to the window and look out again, but the biker is gone. He's moved, but I know he's still out there, waiting. Get your things, I tell Emily, my voice firm. We're leaving. She nods, moving quickly to grab her bag. I don't have a plan. I don't know where we're going, but I know we have to move. The longer we stay here, the more likely it is they'll find us. I look over my shoulder to check the door again, my heart racing. It's too quiet, too still. I feel like we're being watched, like we're on the verge of being caught. We can't stay here. We just can't. I grab Emily's hand, pulling her with me as we move toward the back of the motel, trying to stay out of sight. The parking lot is empty now, but I know that won't last. We don't have much time. I look around desperately, but I don't see anything that could help us. I hear the sound of motorcycles in the distance again. They're coming. I need to get her out of here. We don't have a choice. I lead Emily through the dark, hoping we can make it to the other side of the property without being seen. The wind picks up, the dust swirling around us, making it hard to see. I stay focused, keeping my eyes on the path ahead. We're almost there. Almost free. I keep moving, pulling Emily with me as we slip into the shadows of the alleyway at the back of the motel. I'm not sure where we're going, but I know we can't stay here. I look at Emily one more time, seeing the fear in her eyes, but also the trust. She believes in me, and that's all I need to keep going. I lead Emily through the alley, my hand gripping hers tightly, my eyes scanning every corner of the motel's back lot. The motorcycles are getting closer, their engines rumbling in the distance like thunder rolling across the flat, empty desert. I can feel the urgency in my chest, the pressure mounting with each passing second. We can't let them find us, not now, not after everything we've been through. The shadows around us seem to stretch and grow as we move, the dim light from the motel sign barely cutting through the dark. My mind is racing, trying to figure out the best way to get us out of here. There's a road up ahead, a small dirt path that leads out of the motel parking lot and into the desert. It's our best shot. I glance down at Emily, who's walking beside me, her small face pale and tense, but determined. She's been through so much already, and yet here she is, still following me, still trusting me to get her to safety. I can't let her down. I can't. We reach the dirt path, and I stop for a moment, looking both ways. I don't hear any voices yet, But the bikes are so close now, their engine's a constant hum in the background. We need to move faster. I take Emily's hand again and lead her forward, our footsteps soft on the dirt. The air is cold, the desert wind biting at our faces, but I don't let up. Every step feels like it might be our last, but I know I can't stop. We don't have a choice. We're almost there, I say, trying to keep my voice calm, even though my heart is pounding in my chest. Emily doesn't say anything, but she nods, keeping close to me. She's scared, I can see it in her eyes, but she's still holding on. She's still following me, and that's all that matters. We walk for a few more minutes, the sound of our footsteps the only thing breaking the silence. The bikes are still out there, but I can't risk looking back. If they spot us, we're done for. I keep moving forward, keeping Emily close. Finally, we reach the edge of the road. It's empty, just a long stretch of dirt and cracked pavement, stretching out into the night. I can see the headlights of the motorcycles in the distance, but they're not close enough to spot us yet. We have a little time. I turn to Emily and kneel down beside her. Listen, I say, my voice firm but gentle. We're going to get through this. But I need you to stay close to me, okay? Don't run. Don't make any noise. Just stay with me. She looks up at me, her big brown eyes wide with fear. She nods slowly, her grip tightening around my hand. I can see the trust in her eyes, and it's all I need to keep going. I stand up, keeping my eyes on the road, scanning for any sign of movement. I can hear the bikes now, the rumble growing louder, but we're still a little ways ahead of them. We have time, but not much. Let's move, I say, taking her hand and starting down the road. We move as quickly as we can, our footsteps soft on the dirt. The desert stretches out around us, empty and silent, but I can't shake the feeling that we're being hunted. I glance over my shoulder once, just to make sure no one's following us, but I don't see anyone. It's quiet, too quiet. I push the thought aside. We need to keep moving. We can't stop now. As we walk, I can't help but think about everything that's happened. I never planned to be in this situation, never thought I'd be here, running for our lives with a little girl who's depending on me. But here we are, and I'm not going to stop. Not for anything. I won't let them take her. I can't. We reach a small cluster of trees, just off the road, their branches twisting in the wind like the gnarled fingers of some old ghost. I pull Emily toward them, hoping for some cover. We crouch down, staying low, my hand still gripping hers tightly. The motorcycles are close now, their engines roaring as they approach. I can hear the sound of tires on the dirt road, getting louder, closer. We're almost there, but we're not safe yet. The bikes pass us by, their headlights flashing through the trees, casting eerie shadows on the ground. My heart is in my throat, but I don't move, don't make a sound. I keep Emily close, my hand on her shoulder, trying to keep her calm. We wait in the darkness, the motorcycles moving farther away, the sound of their engines fading into the distance. I let out a slow breath, trying to steady my racing heart. We're safe. For now. I look down at Emily, her face still pale but calm. You okay? I ask softly. She nods, her eyes tired but grateful. Yeah, she whispers. I think we're okay. I give her a small smile, though I know the danger isn't over. It's never over. But for now, we've made it. And that's all that matters. I'm still trying to catch my breath as we crouch beneath the trees, the sound of the motorcycles fading into the distance. My heart is pounding in my chest, and I can feel Emily's small hand still gripping mine, her fingers cold but steady. She's quiet now, but I know she's scared. I can see it in the way she's holding on, in the way she looks up at me with those wide brown eyes, looking for reassurance. I wish I could tell her everything's going to be okay. But the truth is, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next or if we're truly safe. But I do know one thing. I'm not going to stop. I'll keep moving. I'll keep fighting. I won't let her down. I keep my eyes on the road, watching the motorcycles disappear into the distance. I don't trust them. I know they're not done looking for us. I've seen the way they operate, the way they track people down, no matter how far they run. But for now, we have time. For now, we're safe. I pull Emily closer, wrapping my arm around her to keep her warm. The cold desert wind bites at my face, but I don't feel it. Not anymore. My mind is still racing, planning our next move, trying to figure out where we can go, where we can hide. I can't keep running forever. We need a place to stay, a place that's far enough out of the way that they won't find us. But I don't know where that is yet. The desert stretches out around us, empty and desolate. There's no shelter, no safe haven. But I'll find it. I always do. I stand up slowly, helping Emily to her feet. We need to keep moving, but we can't rush it. I need to be careful, need to make sure we don't make any noise that might give away our position. I lead her back, toward the road, my eyes scanning the darkness. The only sounds are the wind and the occasional rustle of leaves. We move quietly, step by step, until we reach the edge of the highway. I stop and look both ways, my senses on high alert. There's no sign of the bikers. Not yet, anyway. But I can feel them. I can feel their presence, like a shadow lingering just out of sight. We're going to be okay, I say, though I'm not sure if I believe it myself. Emily looks up at me, her small face full of fear and uncertainty. How do you know? She asks, her voice barely a whisper. I pause for a moment, unsure how to answer. I want to tell her that everything's going to be fine, that we'll find a way out of this, but I don't have the words. I don't have the answers. Because I won't stop. I say, my voice steady. I won't stop until I've made sure you're safe. No matter what happens, I'll keep you safe. She looks at me for a long moment, her eyes searching my face as if trying to understand. Then she nods, her grip on my hand tightening. I trust you, Jake, she says softly. Her words hit me harder than I expect. She trusts me. And in that moment, I realize just how much responsibility I've taken on. I'm not just protecting her from the bikers. I'm protecting her from a world that's been nothing but cruel and unforgiving. I won't let it take her too. We keep moving, walking along the side of the road, the night air still and cold. The desert stretches out before us, an endless expanse of sand and stone, but I know we can't stay here forever. We need to find somewhere safe. I think about the small towns nearby, places that might offer shelter, but I know they won't be safe for long. I need to keep her away from the places they'll look first. I can feel the weight of the situation pressing down on me. The bikers are still out there, and they won't stop until they've found us. But I can't let that stop me. Not now. I take a deep breath and keep moving forward. We walk for miles, the road stretching out ahead of us, and I keep my eyes peeled for any sign of danger. I won't take any chances. We can't afford to. The sun starts to rise, casting a pale light over the desert, but it offers little comfort. I feel the weight of exhaustion pulling at my limbs, but I don't stop. I can't. Emily is still walking beside me, her small hand gripping mine, and I know she's tired too. I can see it in the way she's dragging her feet, the way her eyes keep fluttering shut. But she's still here, still with me. And that's all that matters. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, I spot a small town in the distance. It's nothing more than a few buildings and a gas station, but it's a place we can rest. I lead Emily toward it, my steps quickening. We're almost there. We're almost safe. We reach the town, and I stop outside a small diner. I glance around, making sure no one is watching. Stay here, I tell Emily. She nods, her eyes wide with fear. I'll be right back. I walk inside the diner, the bell above the door jingling as I push it open. The place is empty except for an elderly woman behind the counter, cleaning the coffee pots. She looks up at me with a tired smile, but I don't return it. We need a room, I say, my voice low. She looks me up and down for a moment before nodding. You can take the last one down the street. $50 for the night, she says, not asking questions. I hand her the money without hesitation. I don't care about the price. I just need somewhere safe for Emily to rest. I turn and head back outside, where Emily is waiting for me. We walk toward the room, and as I unlock the door, I feel a small sense of relief. We made it. For now. I close the door behind us and lock it. I turn to Emily, who's already sitting on the bed, her small body slumped in exhaustion. She looks up at me with tired eyes. Are we safe now? She asks quietly. I don't know how to answer her. I don't know what's coming next, but for now, we're safe. And that's all I can give her. I walk over and sit beside her, taking her hand in mine. For now, I say softly. We're safe for now. I sit in the dim light of the room, the silence of the town outside pressing in around us. Emily is asleep on the bed, her small body curled up beneath the blanket, her breathing slow and steady. It's hard to imagine that just hours ago we were running, our hearts pounding in our chests as the danger closed in on us. Now, we're here, in a small room in a sleepy town, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I can almost breathe. But the relief is short-lived. I know that the calm won't last. I know the bikers won't stop looking for us. I don't know how far they'll go to find us, but I can't let them. I won't let them hurt her. I stand up, walking quietly over to the window. The street outside is empty, the only sound the occasional rustle of the wind. There's nothing out there. Nothing to signal that danger is coming. But I know it's out there. I can feel it, a presence just beyond the horizon. I've been in situations like this before. I've learned the hard way that safety is never permanent. It's always temporary, always fragile. But for now, I have to hold on to it, for Emily's sake. I turn away from the window and glance back at her. She's so small, so innocent, lying there asleep in the quiet room. She's been through more than anyone should ever have to go through. And yet here she is, trusting me to protect her. I can't fail her. I walk over to the bed and sit down beside her, watching her as she sleeps. Her face is peaceful, free from the fear and confusion that have clouded her eyes for the past few days. I wish I could make it all go away for her, but I know I can't. I can't erase what's happened, but I can make sure it doesn't happen again. I promise myself that. I won't let anyone hurt her. I stand up and move toward the door, my mind still racing. I need to figure out our next move. I need to get us out of this town before anyone realizes we're here. I don't know where we're going, but I know we can't stay. I open the door slowly, peeking out into the quiet hallway. The motel is still, the only sound the soft creak of the building settling. I step out into the hall, keeping my movements quiet, making sure no one sees me. I don't know who I'm trying to avoid, but I trust my instincts. They've kept me alive this long. I reach the small office at the front of the motel, hoping to find some information, something that will help me figure out where we can go next. I knock gently on the door. The old man behind the counter looks up from his newspaper, his tired eyes squinting in the dim light. "Can I help you?" he asks, his voice gruff, but not unfriendly. "I'm just looking for some information," I say quietly, trying to keep my voice calm. "Any other motels around here? Somewhere a little more quiet?" He looks at me for a long moment, then nods slowly. "There's one about 10 miles out of town," he says, his voice low. "Not much there. Just a few rooms, but it's quiet. Most people don't know about it." I nod, feeling a little relieved. "It's not much, but it's something. Thanks," I say, turning to leave. I walk back to the room, my mind already working on the next step. I need to get Emily out of here, and the sooner, the better. I close the door behind me, moving quietly toward the bed. Emily is still asleep, her face calm, but I know she won't be able to rest for long. I need to wake her up, tell her what's going on. I sit down beside her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Emily," I say softly, my voice low so I don't startle her. She stirs, her eyes opening slowly. She looks up at me, blinking in confusion. "We have to go," I tell her, my voice steady but firm. She sits up slowly, her eyes still full of sleep, but she doesn't ask any questions. She doesn't hesitate. She just gets up and grabs her things, following me to the door. I'm not sure how she does it, but she's stronger than I ever expected. I open the door and lead her outside, my eyes scanning the parking lot. The town is still quiet, and there's no sign of the bikers, but I know they're out there, waiting for the right moment. I don't have the luxury of waiting. We need to keep moving. We walk quickly toward the truck, the sound of our footsteps barely making a sound on the cracked pavement. The desert air is cold against my skin, but I'm not worried about the cold. I'm worried about what's coming. I open the truck door and help Emily inside, making sure she's settled before getting in myself. I start the engine, the truck rumbling to life. I don't look back. I keep my eyes on the road ahead. We've got a long way to go, and I can't afford to waste any time. The drive is long and quiet, the only sound the hum of the truck's engine and the occasional soft breath from Emily beside me. We don't talk. We don't need to. We both know what's at stake. As the miles stretch out before us, I can't shake the feeling that we're being followed. I glance in the rearview mirror every few minutes, but there's no sign of anyone. Just the endless stretch of the road behind us. We've got a head start, but I know it won't last. I push the pedal down a little harder, urging the truck to go faster, to put more distance between us and the danger behind. But even as I drive, I know that no matter how far we go, the bikers won't stop until they find us. And I'll keep running. I'll keep her safe. I'll do whatever it takes. The truck rumbles steadily down the road, the engine's hum filling the silence between us. The weight of the past few days is heavy in the air, but for now, we're moving, and that's all that matters. Emily is still beside me, her small frame hunched against the seat, her eyes darting between the road ahead and the rearview mirror. She's quiet, but I can see the tension in her face, the way her hands grip the seat. She's scared. I can feel it too, but I can't let her see it. I can't let her see the doubt creeping into my mind. The road ahead is long, but we don't have much time. I don't know where we're headed, but I know I can't stop until we're far enough away that no one can find us. I glance over at Emily. Her eyes meet mine, and for a moment, I see that spark of trust again. She doesn't say anything, but I know she's relying on me. I have to get this right. I can't fail her now. Are you okay? I ask softly, my voice low, careful not to break the fragile peace between us. She nods slightly, her lips pressed together, but I can see the way she's clenching her fists in her lap. I'm just tired, she whispers. I know. I reply, my voice steady, though my heart is pounding. We'll rest soon. I just need to find a place where we can lie low for a while. She nods, but her eyes never leave the road ahead. I know she's thinking about the same thing I am, the bikers. They're still out there, and they're still looking for us. We can't stop until we're sure we're safe. The town we're driving toward is small, barely even a blip on the map, but it's the kind of place that could give us some time to breathe. It's isolated, and there's a motel at the edge of it that I've heard about. No one's going to think to look for us there. It's not much, but it'll do for now. I push the pedal a little harder, my eyes locked on the road as the miles tick by. Emily glances at me from time to time, but she's too tired to say anything. She just keeps her head against the window, her body almost limp with exhaustion. We finally reach the town after what feels like forever, the truck slowing as we approach the outskirts. I scan the area, looking for the motel. I can see the sign in the distance, barely visible against the fading light of the day. It's old, run down, but it'll be the safest place we can find for now. I pull into the parking lot, my tires crunching against the gravel. I park in the farthest spot from the office, keeping my eyes on the road behind us. I don't know if we've lost them yet, but I'm not taking any chances. We can't let our guard down. Stay here, I say to Emily, my voice firm but gentle. I'll get us a room. She looks at me, her eyes tired but trusting, and nods. Be careful, she whispers. I will. I promise, giving her a reassuring smile before stepping out of the truck. I walk to the office, my boots kicking up dust with each step. The door is propped open, and I hear the hum of an old fan inside. I step through the door and see an older woman sitting behind the desk, her hair tied back in a loose bun. She looks up as I enter, her tired eyes giving me a once-over before she speaks. You looking for a room? She asks, her voice raspy. Yeah, I reply, trying to keep my tone casual. Just one night. She nods and grabs a key off the wall, sliding it across the counter. $40, she says, not asking any questions. I hand her the cash and grab the key. Thanks, I mutter, turning to leave. As I step out of the office, I glance back at the truck, where Emily is waiting. I walk back to her, my steps quickening as I approach. All set, I tell her, trying to sound upbeat. She nods, but I can see the exhaustion in her eyes. Let's get inside, I say, opening the door for her. She climbs out of the truck, her small frame stiff with fatigue. We walk to the room, the key jangling in my hand. As we reach the door, I stop for a moment and listen, my senses on high alert. The night is quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that makes you feel like something's about to happen. I push the door open and step inside, flicking on the light. The room is small but clean enough. A bed against the far wall, a small desk, and a bathroom in the corner. It's not much, but it's enough for now. I lock the door behind us and pull the curtains shut, ensuring that no one can see in. It's not much, but it'll do, I say, turning to Emily. She's already lying on the bed, curled up under the covers. She looks up at me with tired eyes and gives a small, tired smile. Thanks, Jake, she says softly. For everything. I stand there for a moment, my chest tight. I'm not going anywhere. I tell her, my voice low. You're safe here. I promise. She nods, her eyes closing as she drifts off to sleep. I sit in the chair by the window, watching the night outside. I don't know how long we can stay here, but I'll keep her safe for as long as I can. I won't stop. I can't stop. The bikers are still out there, but I won't let them take her. I won't let them destroy what little peace we have. We have tonight. And tonight, we're safe. Get ready to immerse yourself in gripping Hell Angels stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. In this thrilling tale, follow a man and a young girl on their run from danger as they navigate through endless miles of desert, always one step ahead of the relentless bikers hunting them. As the stakes get higher, each moment builds the tension, leading to a final showdown. This story is packed with suspense, emotion, and a raw, real look at the world of outlaws. With every twist and turn, the story unfolds, showing the grit and determination of a man who will do anything to protect the child he's sworn to save. Along the way, you'll experience the deep bonds formed through trust, fear, and survival, all set against the backdrop of the unforgiving desert. Hell Angel stories like this one bring to life the sense of adventure and danger that only a world of outlaws can offer. As the characters move from one perilous situation to the next, their fates are tied to the rough, untamed world of the Hell Angels, creating a powerful, emotional journey. Hold your breath as you dive into this heart-pounding narrative that showcases the strength of the human spirit amidst extreme adversity. With each new challenge, the story of these two unlikely allies draws you deeper into the realm of Hell Angel stories, where loyalty and survival are tested to the limits. Don't miss out on this unforgettable tale that will leave you eagerly waiting for the next chapter in the lives of these determined individuals. From hidden dangers to the bond of protection, the Hell Angels stories never disappoint, and this one is no exception.